Hello, my friends, and welcome to some more Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament brought to you by CGL. My name is Bullskunk, joined by the man who's always raiding your pantry, ChefBilly. Chef, how you feeling today? We got a good one on the books today.
Oh man, well, speaking of raiding the pantry, I made some spaghetti today. So spaghetti and meatballs, noms. So we have a tier 4 clash of the Titans going on right now. We have on the one side Allium putting the smackdown on Apollo tier 4 in their preseason match, looking very, very destructive, very lethal. The DPS combo of Oast and Fable was absolutely clicking heads in that match. I remember a couple of tires from the young man Oast there on Paris that just decimated the team and basically buried Apollo's chances there in the preseason. On the other hand, big favorite of ours here in Bullskunk land, we've got Defeato tier 4. Of course, this is the tier 3 team that won the CGL Season 6 multi-tier tournament last year.
Yes, sir. And
they have moved up. And they have continued their winning ways. They actually had a 3-1 win in their preseason. Lots of swaps around. You know, they have a big love for their tank line, and we do too. You and I being main tanks ourselves, and it really starts on the tank line for Dane Defeato.
Today we have no Sigma, no Roadhog, no Brig, no Doomfist. So we have seen a lot more Ryan Zarya here in Week 1, and I expect that to continue here with today's matchup. And yeah, we will at some point tonight. We will talk about what we expect to see here in Week 2. But to start things off here with Dane Defeato Allium, we will be heading to Lijiang Tower for our control map. Start things off here for map number 1, followed by Hollywood will be our hybrid map. Temple of Anubis will be your assault map here to round things off in Week 1, and then Junkertown will be our escort. And then, of course, if necessary, we will head to Ilios for our tiebreaker.
Yep, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen a map 5 yet. We almost had it last night. Last night's tier 3 match that we had last night was a barn burner. It was high tempo, high energy, controlled chaos the whole night. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this today. This is going to be a treat for you guys out there in CGL land, in Bullskunk land. We are happy to bring this to you. So without further ado, let's take a look at what they got going on.
Heading into Night Market to start things off here for tonight's matchup. Looks like Dane Defeato in the blue jerseys bringing us a little bit of double shield in the name of Reinhardt Orisa.
Interesting.
Indeed, indeed. Nick on the Symmetra, Zen with the Mei. So looking for a lot of utility out of that DPS lineup. Looks like we're getting a similar composition on the other side from Allium, as they're going to go with the double shield as well. And also bringing us the Symmetra with the Mei. So we'll see who can get their teleporter up first. Looks like it'll be a simultaneous endeavor. Charge coming out from Johan. Start things off for Dane Defeato, but he gets frozen and taken out, and first blood drawn by Allium. Here to start things off. Oh, and Fable coming through with a nice icicle. Takes out the other tank, and it is going to be Allium picking control up first here on Night Market.
I mean, simultaneous Symmetra teleporters, people getting in on there. Fabled had just a little bit quicker of a wall go up and a freeze onto Johan, taking him down. That just opened the door for Allium to take control of the point. Already 10% of progress going on to this point here. Very good ingress from them.
And after the failed first attempt, the DPS lineup for Dane Defeato, we're going to swap over to a Pharah Hanzo combination here. Nick coming in, taking out the teleporter immediately to deny any fast resurgence from the reinforcements. Now he's going down into the window, putting some rockets into the bulk of Allium, as Dane Defeato's looking to try to open this thing up. Johan 97% towards a shatter. Already doubling the ult economy there on the other side. We'll see if he's able to find a good shot here as Ace Typo opens things up for the defense, picking off that Hanzo with a nice fire strike, and I think it's going to be a reset coming out of Danny here.
Yeah, I don't think the double shield right now is working. I think you need to pull a Zarya or maybe a Diva, because you've got not only the ability to mitigate some damage, both with Zarya and with Diva, but also the ability to take down those turrets that are all over the place in there. They can't see them right now, but they haven't even been able to really set the foot on the point, other than that first attempt onto the point where they were both going at it so hard.
Well, and I think that first opportunity was their best opportunity. At least that second engagement is now they've got a Blizzard to worry about coming out from the side of the defense. Sound barrier there, Basic able to keep his team topped off through that. And then here comes the barrage, a low altitude barrage there coming through. And now the shatter The barrage was weathered. The shatter, not so much. Ace Typo trying to counter back with one of his own, but Johan there with the shield. And Danny Defeato going to get this thing flipped over, but not before Allium gets about 82% on the board.
Yeah, 82% is a really good first hold of this point here at Night Market. You know, here's the time where you think, you know, maybe people are going to go ahead and make some swaps out. And it looks like we do have a swap from Ace Typo going off the Reinhardt onto the Hammond. So, yeah, I think that, you know, he basically got a shatter, tried to do what he could with it. And, yeah, now there's a swap going on from them.
Fable going on over to the Tracer as well, coming off of that May, having already used that Blizzard. And now the Tracer going to the back line, looking to one-clip the Mercy, but the Valkyrie used, fly up in the air. Burr able to escape. Basic, not so lucky. And it's going to be an early one-man advantage here for Allium as they're looking to push back in and take this point back. Oast coming in, finds himself a good pick on the Symmetra. Corruption finding a pair as well. Supercharger thrown in the mix to amplify the damage for that entire team. And Allium getting this thing flipped right back over, and they're in a solid place to take a 1-0 lead here on Lijiang.
Yeah, I mean, this is last fight territory already for Danny Defeato. They've got to get in there and get their feet set. Johan not very close to his Earth Shatter. Nick is doing pretty well on the far. I mean, they're keeping them. Basically, the only thing that's taking them down is the Moira right now. So big time moves coming here. It's now or never.
And nothing in the old department here for Danny Defeato. Trades coming out early. 1 DPS gone for each team. 5v5 here on the objective as Corruption's going back over to the Winston to come back into this battle. Oh, the Burr goes down. Major Nova counter punches right back as both healers are removed. Johan drops at the hands of Ace Typo, though, and I think that might have been the one to tilt this balance and give this first round over to Allium. Sound Barrier coming out for Basic because he's trying to not let this happen. Major Nova stalling this thing out, holding on to this overtime wait for as long as possible, but the mines were there and the map belongs to Allium.
I mean, that's great defense. Great swaps coming from the side of Allium right now. Their tank line actually swapped up a couple of key components there with Ace Typo getting his mines relatively quickly. That was really brilliant work from Allium. That's a punch in the face to Danny Defeato that really hasn't had much resistance thrown at them here since they've moved up to tier 4. So they've got to really buckle down and figure out what it is that's going to take care of this tank line, because right now the tank line is not being bothered very much at all. On the other side, Allium, you know, they're just coming in, swinging in, and just basically dictating play right now. So swaps coming out for both teams. I think that we really just need to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, Allium going over to the dive. Classic dive, as a matter of fact, with Oast on the McCree, while Danny Defeato's going to opt back into the Mesa Metro, and then with the Reinhardt Zarya there on the front line this time around. As we're going into Gardens, they are going to use that teleporter and get their feet on that objective first. See if they can get the defender's advantage here on our point. As the members of Allium looking to go in, dive, see what kind of targets they can find. So far, the shell of Danny Defeato looking impenetrable. Corruption tries to penetrate that shell and just eats so much damage. Dropped almost immediately. Zen coming up with a nice pick onto the Tracer as well. And Danny Defeato already with percentage started in full control on Gardens here.
Yeah, I think that the dive was beautiful. We love to see dive here. Ha, 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 Newfie. I know you're out there watching right now. We do love dive, and it does work, but I think that the coordination a little bit lacking. They were kind of separated, not only by a May wall, but by, I think, the actual gameplay that they were trying to do there. And, yeah, Danny Defeato just cleaned it up in a hurry.
Well, now we've got a little bit of a split assault coming through from Allium as they're looking for this retake. Ball coming in off the back side. I believe the Tracer is accompanying them as well. Tracer all the way on to Danny Defeato's side of the map, taking out that teleporter. And now Ace Typo coming through on this Hammond, onto the point, taking out a couple turrets, see if he can build up towards those mines. And then here comes the Primal Rage, but Corruption, despite having 1,000 health, does not last in that mix. Johan coming up with a big pick as well. Fabled striking back, though. Major Nova finds the kill onto the Mercy, and it is going to be a 5v3 favoring Danny Defeato on this objective. Allium missing their healers. They don't have the staying power. They're going to be forced to reset here.
Yeah, and you've got a couple of very, very big ultimates coming up online for Danny Defeato. You've got the grab for Major X Nova, almost a 6-pack of ultimates, as a matter of fact, for Danny Defeato. So this is going to be a very tough nut to crack for Allium, even if they do get some ultimates online, but they do have a couple on their side, so we'll see.
Well, they sacrifice those tank ultimates there to make the swap over to the Ryan Zarya as they're looking to aggress back into this thing. Fable coming in on the back line, Pulse Bomb in the pocket. Coalescence coming out from Danny Defeato to trying to run off the front line, who's approaching over main. And now looks like they're going to be forced back around to the other side. All the while, time ticking down. Here comes the Graviton Surge from Danny Defeato. Sound Barrier coming out from Allium to keep him alive through that 96% on the clock. As Allium starts to put their feet on the point, forced to do so to get that overtime wick burning. Charge, counter charge coming through. Photon Barrier over the map, favoring Danny Defeato. Sound Barrier there as well. Walls coming out to shrink this world around Allium. And the kills coming through as Nick burning him down, microwaving him with that beam on that Symmetra. Ace Typo doing his best, trying to counterpunch back. Coalescence thrown in the mix from Dexident as well. But I think Danny Defeato will tie us up here on Lijiang Tower.
Absolutely. That was a massive amount of play there from Nick on the Symmetra. Got a lot of value out of it. That microwave oven coming out of his arm was absolutely blasting people down. There was nothing. He was ramped up probably to about his level 3 ramp for about a good 20 seconds of that contest there, and he was just melting people. So yeah, 1-all going into Control Center. I think Danny Defeato went back to what really works for them, which is the Ryan Zarya combination. Majorex Nova is one of the better Zaryas in the league, and I will throw that out there against any of these Zaryas out there. I think his play is absolutely stellar. I think his bubbles are really good. He actually prevented that pulse bomb from Fable landing onto Nick. He actually threw a bubble on him and saved his life there. So big plays coming out from the Russian, and this is going to be a very, very chaotic, I believe, point here if Danny Defeato does what they normally do, capturing the point quick and then moving up and denying space. Johan and Majorex Nova, big players on this.
Allium making the swap over to the Ryan Orisa double shield composition here. Early Maywall coming up, trying to divide the backline of Allium from the front. Maywall's up from both sides. And now Danny Defeato going to try to push through the little crevice, see if they can put some aggression down onto the front line, but they got to be careful. Their shield is already very low there for Johan. Both teams poising and posturing around this center. Here comes the Maywall once again, looking for an opportunity to divide and conquer for Danny Defeato. The Orisa whittled down very low, but Typo able to get that shield up just in the nick of time. Major Nova, though, finding first blood, gets the kill onto the Ana, and the snowball coming through from there. And like dominoes, the rest of Allium's going to fall, and Danny Defeato already percentage on the board.
Yep, that is absolutely classic Danny Defeato there. Divide and conquer with the May, and the Zen in the background is absolutely lighting it up on the Hanzo. One of the Shimada brothers, he is clicking heads. He is getting so much value right now. He is already 70% to his dragons, but also look on the tank line. Both taking ultimates already ready.
And here comes the Earthshatter from Danny Defeato. Coalescence in there as well. But Murphy right on top of things with the sound barrier to keep the team alive through that. Nevertheless, 1v1 trade coming through, and Allium missing their Reinhardt as they're looking to come in and retake this thing, but they do have a man advantage. As it's 5v4, Allium trying to be the aggressors. Dragon Strike coming out from the other side. Try to push back this assault a little bit, but here comes the Blizzard. Oast catching several members with that, and Johan goes down. Both Mays traded out here on the point, and it looks like it's going to be a 4v3. Nope, 5v3. Here comes the Lucio for Allium to try to bolster those reinforcements, and I think they are going to get this thing flipped back over.
Yeah, I mean, 65%, 65, 66, yeah, 65% for Danny Defeato on their first take of this. I think that the rotation that Allium made there, go ahead and sacrificing their Reinhardt at the very beginning of the Coalescence coming out from Dexident at the beginning there was absolutely huge, taking out Majorex Nova. No bubbles available, and I think that if you take out Majorex Nova in the equation right now, that is what is going to keep them from being able to aggress as hard as they normally do.
Blizzard coming out from Danny Defeato, but high nude from the high ground from Fable, then he finds two with that. Now he drops down, turns his attention onto the Zarya, finds that kill, and Fable finds 3 big picks to help Allium hold on here.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge coming from Fable on the Cowboy. Picking up 2 with his Deadeye, and you know, the Blizzard from Niche was absolutely the right play there, but they didn't see the flank from the Cowboy.
Well, and this opens up a world of opportunities as Allium now able to try to wall off the front door. They managed to divide off 2 members of Danny Defeato, but the kills not quite coming through for him just yet. So now Allium forced to back up to the objective. Their shield all the while just getting peppered here from Danny. But there comes the nano boost. Earthshatter coming out as well, but the block was there. Shield at the ready here for Danny Defeato. Now we have a sound barrier coming out from the Danny squad, but Graviton Surge coming in from Allium, and the kills might light up. But no, 1-for-1 trade. They got whittled low, but the healer's there for Danny, keeping him topped off. Oh, I spoke too soon. Johan goes down. Nova drops as well, and with 75% and counting, Allium looking strong here on Control Center.
Yeah, you have the all-important Graviton Surge coming from Major X Nova ready and available. So you have Grab Dragons available online almost. But, you know, they've also got to contest with a Blizzard. I don't know if they're going to be able to get on. If Oast plays it the right way, he may be able to deny them all the way.
Here comes the Graviton Surge Dragon combination. Sound barrier coming out, but it does not keep Corruption alive. Nevertheless, Fable able to find one with the Deadeye. Oast finds one as well, and now Danny Defeato finding themselves at a massive disadvantage, and the overtime wick burning against them. Allium cleaning things up, and they will take a 1-0 lead here in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, super play coming out from Allium there. They just marshaled their resources. A big Deadeye, even though it only caught one, that was enough to stop the ingress from Danny DeFito. Major X Nova having to pop his Graviton Surge rather early. I think he wanted to catch a few more people in it, and that was pretty much spelling the end of Danny DeFito's push back into this point, and that is what took this map for Allium. They are up 1-0. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Welcome back, my friends. We are headed into map number 2 of our console Overwatch multi-tier tournament matchup here between Danny DeFito and Allium. Allium with the 1-0 lead here in this tier 4 matchup. They were looking pretty good there on the third round of Lijiang Tower. What did we see? What did we see out of Allium there? Allowed them to take the edge there.
DPS play. DPS play was carrying them throughout that third map there. Fable coming up with a couple of big Deadeyes to deny the aggression that was Danny DeFito's game plan coming into there for the recontests. I think that you've got to get something either to scout them out or just be mindful that they are up there waiting. They are not going to stay with the core group of their players. So.
And I wanted to kind of touch back on the Zarya versus D.Va in the flex tank role. I think D.Va seems to favor the counterpunch, to kind of block and counterpunch strategies more, where both of these teams are hyper aggressive. And I think Zarya favors that hyper aggression, where you're just trying to make the first move and make that haymaker land with a big impact. And we're getting a nice little dance circle coming out from Danny DeFito here on point A. Love to see it. Love to see it. With that said, it does look like we're getting Reinhardt Zarya coming out of both teams here. Allium going on the offense first, start us off. And they're going to have the Widowmaker and the McCree here to put the hurt down in the damage rolls. They're looking to come into this first choke. Little poking and prodding, early fire strikes going through. But so far, no major engagement just yet. On the side of the defense, looks like we're seeing a little Junkrat Hanzo and Zen. Zen winning the Widow duel, finds the first kill from this high ground platform. And I think Allium's going to go ahead and reset off the back of that.
Absolutely, you know, and we do have a sub coming in. Nick has gone from the DPS role to the healer role, playing this Ana. I know that he has a very good Ana in his repertoire as far as healers. And then Venom Andrew, my buddy, coming in. Surprised not to see him on a sniper role, because that's normally what he is known for. But this Junkrat for him is absolutely a killer too.
And he's already 73% towards the tire. Zen, Dragon Strike coming online as we speak. But we do have a nano boost here for the offense, and they're coming up on an Earth Shatter as well. This should be a pretty eventful engagement. We'll see how Allium chooses to make their approach. Looks like they're feigning, going around the flank, and then just rush right back out the front side using that Lucio speed. Trying to see if they can catch Danny DeFito off guard, but they are fully prepared. Now the nano boost coming out. Earth Shatter there. Nova and Johan caught in that nano boost back onto the Reinhardt for Danny DeFito to try to keep him in this, but Nova already sent back to spawn. But here comes the Earth Shatter from the other side. Maywall coming out to try to deny the damage, but it doesn't deny the tire. Venom Andrew, 4K on this Junkrat. Doing a little dance there at the end. Putting up a good showing here for the defense.
Andrew, my boo, come forth, my young man. Oh my goodness, that's a 4K. Oh my god, I love it. This is so good. But yeah, I think they may have even played a little possum into that. So Johan does go down. Major X Nova does go in there. The nano boost was invested, but yeah, the damage was done with that massive tire coming from Venom Andrew.
Now we do still have the Graviton Surge online, or coming online, at least for the offense. Deadeye online as we speak. Blizzard not far behind. Tools definitely in the bank here for Allium as they're pushing in. Fabled finds two with the Deadeye right before he eats an arrow to the dome. And I think that may have been enough. Allium able to clean up from there, and it looks like they will get a point on the board for us here on Hollywood.
Yeah, a minute 30 left in the time bank for them before they capture this. So they're going to have, what, approximately 3 minutes, 30 seconds here in the streets phase. 3:54 in the streets phase. Venom Andrew is absolutely peppering them with his Junkrat spam though, and he is getting close to it. He is working that that advantage up, or his ult percentage up very quickly. You've got a couple of very big ultimates coming up online for Allium. This Blizzard grab is going to be deadly if they play their cards right.
Yeah, Basic might be left with a little bit of a Sophie's choice here. He's going to have to use a sound barrier for one of the two, and the other could be just devastating. Maywell coming up trying to block Johan from the rest of the team, but he's able to back right over it. Here comes the Blizzard to start things off. Is the sound barrier going to come out? No, he chooses to hold on to the sound barrier, and Venom and Johan pay the price. Major Nova dropping as well, and it is Allium storming over the streets phase of Hollywood.
Yeah, I think Honor is a better part of Valor, getting the two healers and his other DPS player out and being able to recontest. Smart move coming from Basic there to come back to his team, taxi people back and come as a united front up against this very potent Allium team. We are seeing what they did to Apollo now here on the streets of Hollywood. Big Graviton Surge coming out from Major X Nova.
Dragon's there to accompany it as well, and they are going to find 2 kills on the back of that. Another nano boost going on to Johan, and Danny Defeato planting their feet here on the back half of Streets phase.
Oh, Basic doing a death dance on top of Fable's corpse after he got slept by Nick. That's a cowboy two-step you don't want to see. That's a little bit of a bebop there. From Basic.
It was a bit of a bebop. I like it. But, if you're Danny Defeato, you certainly don't want to celebrate too early, as we have 4 ultimates online here for Allium as they're looking to come back in, going around that far flank angle over by Mega. Oh, what are you doing? You're taking this little cheeky path up to the high ground. The whole team coming up here. What do they have in store for us? They have so many ultimates to work with. What are we going to a little top rope Earth Shatter? What are your plans here, Corruption? What are your plans? All right, they're going to jump down onto this balcony and kind of do a little do-si-do around this objective. Here comes that Earth Shatter, and it's going to find 2. Nick and Venom Andrew were caught in that. Graviton Surge coming out as well as a big ante from Allium, but the sound barrier is there. Basic, perfectly timed, and Danny Defeato absolutely still in this fight. In fact, coming back and finding 2 big picks. Johan does fall, but Basic coming through on that Lucio with some key kills. And Danny Defeato holding on here with just $1.23 left on the clock.
Venom Andrew doing another little death dance on the Lucio there. And giving him a little bit of a concussion mine just for extra added. I owned you there. Basic right there. Play of the game right there for me so far. Holding on to that sound barrier very long time and keeping his people up through the anti and through the grab that came out.
Now we're getting some swaps coming from Allium as they're looking to go a little bit more dive. O's back on onto the Widowmaker. Oh, but gets taken out. Zen with the arrow winning the duel there. Early man advantage for Danny Defeato on the defense. And if they keep this up, I'm just going to start calling him Dancing Defeato. I think that's going to be my new name for these guys. If they're going to keep up all this bebop action that we have been seeing. Nick earning himself a right to dance there, coming up with a nice pick on Defabled. Getting the kill onto what should be a hard counter. With just 30 seconds on the clock, we can see Allium staging on the high ground here. How are they going to approach here? What's going to be their play here, Billy?
I think that they showed it before, what they did before, going behind the point here.
All right, and they come in with trying to attack the Ana, but Nick dropping a nice sleep dart onto that Winston, and he gets nanoed, but it is going to be Johan chasing him right out, and now the trade's coming through. Nova finding 2 big picks before going down, kind of caught on the front line as the defense a little scattered here, and Allium taking advantage of their disorganization, picking off the people off the front, and now maintaining control of this objective. Overtime Wick is burning. Danny Defeato's reinforcements starting to come through. Zen coming up with a nice pick, and as soon as he comes out the door, O's finds one as well, but drops to Basic. As he comes in with a little bit of a revenge kill, and now here comes the Graviton Surge, here comes the Dragons, and Danny Defeato in a prime spot to hold this thing, and hold they shall. 1 point is all we're going to see from Allium here on Hollywood.
Man, that was a disgusting amount of aggression there from Danny Defeato. I think the dance party may have done a lot more for them than what people realize. Danny Defeato, a lot of times before maps start, we'll get into a little circle and have a little dance between their members. But going back to the gameplay here, Nick on the Ana right now is absolutely playing his worth in spades right now, because sleep darts, antis, nano boost at the right time, Basic throwing in some huge sound barriers, and of course Venom Andrew on the Junkrat right now is absolutely shredding people, and Zane is winning the sniper battle. He took out Oast a couple of times on the Widowmaker. You would generally favor the Widowmaker. Personally, I would favor the Widowmaker just because of the scope and the power and everything. But man, big hold there. They only got about 2/3 of the way through Streets phase, so that's a pretty decent hold here in this level of competition. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Bullskunk?
I would have to agree with that. And Allium going on the defense now, hoping their push through Streets phase is enough to give them a 2-0 lead here in this matchup. In that vein, it does look like they're bringing us the double shield in the name of Rhino Risa. Fabled on the McCree, Oast on the May. On the other side of things, looks like we are getting Ryan Zarya with double sniper coming out of Danny Defeato. Nick on the Ana, basic back on the Lucio. And we were bragging about their tank play before, but man, this support lineup really showing up there on the defense for Danny Defeato.
Massively, there's a big anti coming out for Dexodin onto the tank line of Danny Defeato. So that's a big anti. That's a big amount of... Oh!
They are able to fall back out of the LOS, get rid of that status effect, and move forward there. Early pick coming from Venom Andrew is going to help things out a lot as it's a 6v5 advantage moving on to this point, but they got to be careful. O's coming around with that flank. The flanks that Ali have been showing us all day. Zin picking it up this time, though. Not going to be caught off guard. Finds that kill, and Danny Defeato answering right back. They're going to put a quick point A on the board here.
That is lightning quick coming from Danny Defeato, even with the early anti that made them take a little pause coming around the corner there. Venom Andrew taking out Murphy Buns is in the first engagement, not getting out of the sight lines of the Widowmaker there. And it was pretty much quick and clean up from Danny Defeato there. Wow, I said that. I got it out. I am proud of myself right now.
Billy getting through his own tongue twisters here. Meanwhile, Danny Defeato looking to get through point B. They do have an Earthshatter online, but not much else to speak of in the ult department. But on the other side of things, we have gotten a swap over to Dive. So a complete reset on the ults here on the side of Allium. Aos did stick with that Mayor Shatter coming out. That finds one. But Zen is the one to fall as Corruption jumps into the backline, able to find that kill, and then leaping out on harm's way just in time. No! Venom chasing him down on that far. And now that leaves Venom Andrew hovering right above enemy lines here as he tries to put some more rockets into the mix. Res come through onto Zen, and Danny Defeato in full control. Rocket down onto the Moira, trying to chase out the Lucio. Kill onto the Lucio. Venom Andrew showing off here on the far.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the Baby Diva getting a little bit of a recontest there. I would have gone back to my spawn instead of trying to come out there because now you are burning your progress here. Man, Danny Defeato only has a few meters to go. They've got Shatter. Oh, they've already used the Shatter. They've got a Grav Dragon available to them right now. This could be it right here. Oh, my God, no recontest. Allium, what were you thinking there, my friends?
That was a strange one. That was a strange one.
I'm flabbergasted right now. They had all the time in the world to touch there and recontest.
Yeah, and the monkey just did not get there in time. It would have been a tall order. They had no ultimates online. I mean, I think Danny Defeato was poised to take that one anyway. But yeah, perhaps a bit of a miscommunication on who was going to touch cart. Either way, it's a tie game, folks.
Whoo, 1-1 going to Temple of Anubis now. So, yeah, we'll be back with you in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, welcome back to the Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament, brought to you by CGL. My name's Bullskunk, alongside ChefBilly here in this Tier 4 matchup. And these two teams, Danny Defeato, Allium, we're tied up at the half. Billy, who do you think is going to take the edge as we're heading into Map 3?
If it's a purely sniper battle, I'm putting my money on Danny Defeato right now, based upon what we just saw sniper-wise, both from Zen and from Venom Andrew, clicking heads and taking names, leaving a little dry cleaning bill on their corpses as we saw the dances coming out from Danny Defeato. Yeah, I think right now that was a big reason why they were able to take it so fast. Is just the DPS play for Danny Defeato. Tank play good for both teams, but I think just the DPS was just that much better for Danny Defeato that time. Venom Andrew playing not only the Junkrat in the first defense there, but also coming out on the Widowmaker and absolutely clicking heads. Also kind of a side MVP for that match was the support line for Danny Defeato.
Yeah.
Sleeps and Antis coming out from Nick V2, and then Basic just being harassing, almost as a support tracer almost in their back line, and dropping beat drops when you just wasn't expecting it to happen. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff.
I've heard it said that a great Ana, a great Lucio does more than just keep the team alive. You know, they do more than just provide healing and speed, and those two did just that on that last match, coming up with clutch picks, great sleeps, great antis, having a big impact on the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, we do have the ready from a team. So I'm going to go ahead and set us in while we're still talking about this. But, you know, I think that pulling the Moira out against a Lucio and an Ana, while you do have the DPS ability from the Moira, I think healing came out a lot bigger on the side of Danny Defeato, and I think keeping up their team members what was the bigger responsibility for the offensive of Danny Defeato there. It was really good. I thought it was. I thought they just coordinated so much better. Basic and Nick did.
Yeah, no arguments there. Certainly hoping to keep up that great discipline here as we head into map 3. We did get a bit of a side swap, so we will get Allium in the blue jersey, starting us off on the defense here as we head into sunny Egypt. And it looks like they're showing us a little Ryan Zarya out the gate. Fabled on the McCree, Oast on the Junkrat. Man, Oast on this Junkrat. This is going to be one to watch, especially on their defenses. Oh, it looks like a defense kind of straggling a little bit to get position here. Meanwhile, on the other side, looks like Danny Defeato coming out with a little bit of dive, but with Junkrat and Widowmaker in their damage department. Dive team just moving up to the front of this top platform. Poison's just staging a little bit, looking for the right opportunity to pounce. Just hanging out below that line of sight. What are you going to do, Danny? What's your next play? All right, looks like they're going to move directly onto the objective here, force the members of Allium to come and be the aggressors. They're going to do just that. Kills traded out. Both DPS go down, or one for each side, that is. 5v5 here on the point. Allium falling back into the corner with a nice defensive posture, but Zen sitting up on the high ground and just has free reign down to the team below, finds the kills, and this is going to be a quick .1 coming through for Danny Defeato.
That was lightning fast once again coming from Danny Defeato. Zen clicking heads, uncontested on the high ground there, and Johan on the monkey getting a couple of jump pack kills as well. So yeah, right now the movement coming from Danny Defeato, this is lightning fast. I'm loving what I'm seeing right now.
They are making a swap over to the Ryan Zarya here to attack the second point, sacrificing their ult economy on that, of course. DPS not quite built up a whole lot. Zen's going to be the closest of the bunch, so not a whole lot of snowball potential here. It does look like Danny Defeato is going to path around far left side, try to put the pressure on. Actually, in a little bit of a pincer attack. We had 3 go left, 2 go right. Okay, now they're coordinated back here in the middle. Looks like Zen moving up to the high ground there a little bit. So far, no big blows coming through. Oh, yeah, it's going to open things up. Find first blood here for us on the defense. Nice mine onto the counterpart Junkrat. And it does look like the defense will have the tools to stabilize here. And I think Danny Defeato is going to kind of fall back and take a second approach.
Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do right now. But if you look at it, Major X Nova, even after this very quick swap, they're both almost up to ultimate status already. So this is huge coming from Danny Defeato. Oh, that's a big fire strike through the amplification matrix corruption, taking down Johan.
Yeah, a bit of a wind scar action there with the fire strike insta-killing the squishies. Fable finds a shot through that amp matrix as well, and the defense will stand tall here for another attack. But still plenty of time on the board here for Danny, and now they've built up some ultimates to work with. Yes, they have, and I think maybe losing the Widowmaker right now, Zen, yeah, as if on cue, he's going over to the Hanzo, getting a little bit more value. Man, you've got a 4-pack of really serious ultimates here for the side of Danny Defeato. This could be a whoa! Oast having a little nap on the table there, courtesy of Nick, who had recently swapped off the Mercy, going over to that Ana. and immediately getting good value out. Here comes the tire from Venom. That finds one. Corruption is down. Graviton Surge had popped out from Danny Defeato in that assault as well. Coalescence coming in from the defense. As it's turned into a bit of a scrappy fight. Oast finding a kill with the tire, and Allium not going to be dislodged quite that easily as they're striking right back. Zen does find a kill onto Dex, and Basic coming up with a big pick as well. Major Nova getting the D-Mech, but is going to sacrifice their life in the process. Danny Defeato trying to keep the pressure on, but I think that was it. Zen going down marks a reset here for them.
Absolutely. Johan still has his Shatter available. Major X Nova, even though he invested that Graviton Surge in the last fight, is already up to 36% of his next one. Nick and Basic coming up very closely on their ultimates, and Zen almost has a Dragon Strike or Dragons for his team. No ultimates on the side of Allium except for that all-important Amplification Matrix. We know how deadly that can be.
It's going to come out immediately. Shatter trying to come out and deny the value, but it is blocked. Here come the Dragons right over that corner, and the Dragons, you can't block those, my friend. Your shield is useless against that. 2 kills light up that feed. Johan follows it up with a nice kill onto the Diva. Nova picking up a pair as well, and 2 ticks already on the board here for Danny Defeato, threatening to get that third one with a quickness. Murphy Butt's coming out on the Lucio to try to stall for as long as possible, but does not last long against the charged up Major Nova on that Zarya. And now, Nova turning his attention onto the front line. Corruption trying to come back in with the charge. Does find 1 kill, finds 2 kills! And this defense on the back of that fantastic Reinhardt play might be able to stabilize Sound Barrier. Graviton Surge coming out from Danny Defeato as they just need 5.1% to close this thing out. But the tenacity from Allium showing up, and they will be denying Danny Defeato that 5% and holding on here with just 2 minutes on the clock.
Absolutely, and Oast moving over to the May was a big catalyst in there. But you got to give the credit to Corruption. The suicide charge coming from the right-hand spawn, picking up 2, coming out there. I think that's what saved the point there for Allium.
Absolutely,
because it was looking very grim.
That was big plays coming from Corruption, and now Earthshatter online and ready to go here for the defending Reinhardt. As Danny Defeato is going to push right across bridge, going right up Main Street, doing what they do best: get close, get brawly. Venom Andrew pouring some rockets over from above, trying to dislodge the defense a little bit, see if they can kind of force them to play the Danny Defeato game, get them bunched up into a nice little corner, and then just pounce. Both McCree's coming up with early picks onto countering supports. Zen edging things out, finding the kill onto the other McCree. Fable drops. Venom Andrew's going to take out that Immortality Barrier, and that's going to open the way for an Earth Shatter, but not much value coming through with that. Major Nova does find a pick, but it is a slow and steady process here. Johan whittled down to 60 health. Bubble coming through to save him temporarily, but not long enough. Fable to find that kill. But Feed going back and forth. We're going to get a Graviton Surge coming out, and the remaining members of Danny Defeato trying to persist, trying to see if they can get that last few percentage. Once again, just needing so little to cap this thing off and get that second point on the board. Corruption coming back out on that Reinhardt. See if he can make the big hero plays once again here for Allium. Force load, dropping down to try to find that Mega. Meanwhile, back on the front line, kill coming through for Johan, picking off Murphy on that Lucio. Finds Ace Typo on the Diva. Venom Andrew coming with a big pick as well, and I think Danny Defeato might have the reinforcements to do this here, though. A great stall coming through from Allium.
Yeah, big time stalls coming from Oast right there. Zen taking out the Corruption on the Reinhardt. Oast going down. This is just a matter of time now, I believe.
Murphy Buns investing that Sound Barrier in the mix, buying more time, and that's going to get Allium into the overtime phase. But still, I don't think they've managed to quite plant their feet and stabilize yet. Graviton Surge coming out to deny Corruption any more big plays. They do still have to deal with the Blizzard, though, as it comes right over the objective. They can't afford to step off point. Major Nova charged to the heaven, able to keep his toes planted, and they will eventually put that second point on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great play from Danny Defeato, and also big stall tactics coming out from Allium. They had, what, about 4 minutes, 30 seconds when they were coming into this point. 4 minutes, 30 seconds, and it took them an additional 45 seconds into the overtime period for them to take the third or the second point here on Anubis. So win condition set. You come through with some time and capture all three ticks here on the second point, and it's going to be a 1-tick look. Otherwise, we're going to have a draw here on Anubis going into Junkertown. So
at least draw potential.
Big draw potential right now. I'm interested to see what comes out on the side for the offense here, as we saw quite a few variations of tanks coming out for Allium. So, they showed their ability to run the Winston as well. So you might be able to see a dive here. We, of course, love dive. Don't make fun of me because I said it, because it's a good strategy here. Yeah, especially on the first point. But yeah, I know I'm going to hear it from everybody, and Danny Defeato land on that one. That's okay. I love you guys, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. But Venom Andrew pulling out the Junkrat here, getting his fun in a little space there.
We are also getting Major Nova onto the Diva here for the defense, Danny Defeato. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ace Typo going back over to the Wrecking Ball to accompany Corruption on that Reinhardt. Fabled Oast, we're looking at Somber Tracer coming out from that DPS duo. Fable going to go ahead and try to just sneak into the backline right out of the gate, but has to deal with Nick, who's up on the high ground, keeping a sharp tab on him. Johan going in, finding an early pick. Moira goes down, Corruption goes down. And that are your primary heals and your primary shields. Back in spawn, and with them, I think Allium is going to join, as a reset should be coming through for the offense.
Typo still trying to give a little bit of a look here. Oast picking up Andrew on the Widowmaker. It's a frantic fight right now. Picking up the DMAC on the Nova. This is actually looking very promising for Allium. Big pin coming in from Johan onto his counterpart Corruption.
Yeah, the front line of Allium took that opportunity, that window they had, and just stormed for it in 6th gear. And they've already got over 50% captured here on this objective. Looks like just a lone Ana sitting there waiting to die, and the inevitable comes through. Ana back in spawn, point on the board here for Allium.
Oh, that was supreme aggression. Ace Typo actually keeping up the pressure onto the members of Danny Defeato long enough for his teams to come back out of spawn, and they just mowed through Danny Defeato's defenses like a hot knife through butter. That was not what Danny Defeato was probably looking for. They were probably looking to get a little bit more time for the contest, but as we all know, either you get through the first point really quick, or it takes you forever to get through the first point. And so here we go, 5.5 minutes on the time bank for the members of Allium.
Ace Typo making the swap off the Wrecking Ball, going over to that Zarya as they're looking to come in here. Here comes the pulse bomb right out of the gate into the captured members of Danny Defeato, caught in that corner. Fortunately for them, no kills coming through off the bomb, but yet 2v2 traded out, 4v4 here on the objective. Venom Andrew trying to tilt this balance, as I think there's just 3 remaining members of Allium on this point, and this has just devolved into a brawl. Danny Defeato looking okay, but they have to deal with this Reinhardt, and then here comes the sound barrier from Allium, as they are just keeping the pressure on. Tire from Venom Andrew catches the Lucio, and we'll see if that might have been in the nail of the coffin on this attack.
Yeah, I think that was a very smart disengage from Allium. Oh, Johan getting a big fire strike on a Dexit and on the Moira. That is definitely making them have room for pause there. Man, couple of changes coming out, though. We see Zen coming out onto the Cowboy now, and then Oast has gone off the Tracer, or has gone off of, he was on the Widow, and now, and now going over to the Soldier 76. Maybe a little bit of extra healing.
Yeah, a little extra healing, a little extra mobility, kind of can circle around the fight and get those flank angles Allium likes to show. But nevertheless, Corruption's going to go down early, and that's not a good start for your attack. You can't lose your Reinhardt trying to push into Anubis point B. And with that, Allium knows it, and they are resetting here once again.
Oh, man, Zen took out Oast, and then he flashbanged and took Fabled out in a fell swoop. Big-time defensive plays coming from Danny Defeato here. I think that they may want to have that little pushback there. Once you lose a healer, I think it's time for an immediate reset, because you've got time. You still got almost 3.5 minutes left in the time bank. So marshal your defenses, marshal your offense even, and come back at it again.
Oast making a swap off of the Mei. Fable going over to the McCree now. So we get both DPS changes coming out of Allium. Looking to try to, I think, a little bit more close quarters brawl. Utilize this Mei to divide and conquer here. Diva up on the high ground, but Oast is fully aware, putting some icicles down just to keep him in check. And Diva's got to force back to the spawn. Doesn't make it. Oh, what? What? Andrew!
Andrew! Good Lord, my friend!
My goodness. Venom Andrew says, wait a minute, there's 5 people all bunched up. I've got this nifty tire in my pocket. Here you go. Special delivery. 5K on the board.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that out there. Good God.
We should be seeing that one on a highlight reel. That was fantastic. We do have Allium coming back in here. We see their tenacity coming through. They're going to have a Graviton Surge as well as the Sound Barrier online. Immediately trying to bounce back from that fantastic tire win. He's going to go ahead and drop a Deadeye in the mix. Wall in his way at the moment. No targets coming through from the Deadeye. Ace on point with the May. Gets flashbang, gets Fan the Hammer. And O's back in spawn. Graviton Surge coming out as a counterpunch from Allium. Venom Andrew trying to throw yet another tire in the mix. His second in as many fights, but Fable ready for this one. He gets taken out. But nevertheless, Zen picking up a couple kills from the Cowboy. And the defense of Danny Defeato holding strong. Just about $140 on the clock here for Allium.
Yeah, and they only invested 3 ultimates there. They invested the tire, which got shot down by Fable. They invested Nick's Coalescent. They invested one other. I can't remember.
With the Sound Barrier coming out from Basic as well.
Yeah.
We got Sound Barriers out from both sides, so no support ultimates online here for this next engagement. In fact, the only thing online here for the attacking team will be Fabled with the Deadeye. We'll see if he can find a choice one here, as it looks like Allium making their way around to the far right side. Fable trying to make it to the high ground, but got shot and wasn't able to make his jump. Meanwhile, on the front line, Corruption goes down. Venom Andrew does get picked off, but we get an Earth Shatter coming out from the defense. Finds Oast on that May. No longer able to build up towards that Blizzard. Ace Typo drops as well. And the tank line for Danny Defeato looking very strong here on the defense.
Absolutely, but Johan actually got very low there. A big anti coming out from Dexidin, catching 4 members, and then once again another big anti coming from Dexidin, trying to do as much as he can, trying to build up that ultimate charge. I think that's what's going on there. Trying to get as much ult charge before his corpse fell to the ground. Danny Defeato right now, though, big time ultimate usage. Their ult management right now seems to be in their favor. Fable, they're just denying it right now. They're denying everything coming into them, and 23 seconds.
Yeah, great stagger coming onto Dex in that last engagement. Means only one last chance here for Allium to push in and try to take this point. Corruption going in deep. Maywall comes up early to try to divide off the defense. Major Nova gets frozen and is forced to drop his bomb. Blizzard coming out from Allium, and that's going to catch Johan in it. The Sound Barrier from Basic is there. Can Johan, you'll survive it? No! Just barely gets taken out. Now we're getting the Sound Barrier coming out from Murphy Buns. Allium looking to push in as they have the man advantage on the point. Make that 2-man advantage, taking off Venom Andrew, who had recently swapped over to that Genji. Zen answering back, finds a kill onto Dex, but he's going to pay for it with his live Corruption coming up with that kill. Now, the defense starting to trickle back onto this point here. Johan on one side, Basic gets taken out on the other. Maywall coming up to divide that left flank. Venom Andrew making it back onto the point here on the Genji. We did get a swap. Zen going over to the Tracer to try to stall this thing off. Venom dueling with the McCree, gets flashbang, able to escape the kill. Meanwhile, on the front line, Corruption takes out Johan. There's no more Reinhardt stand-in here for Danny Defeato. And this could be just the opening they were looking for, but Zen and Basic answering right back. Nick finds one. Venom Andrew drops his blade into the mix, and that will be enough for Danny Defeato to hold on 2-1 lead here for the after map 3.
Man, that was another one of those barn burner bar brawls at the very end there. Ultimates coming out from both sides. Here is the 5K from Venom Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back in just a moment. I'm going to leave you with this.
Well, welcome back to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. We are headed into map 4 of our tier 4 matchup between Danny Defeato and Allium. Danny Defeato with a 2-1 lead here as we head into our 4th map of the evening, which will be Junkertown for our escort map. Sounds like we had some substitutions coming into this 4th map. Billy, what do we got?
Yep, on the side of Allium, Fabled coming in, going out for Ex Luce, and then Zam Zali coming in for Corruption on the tank line. On the side of Danny Defeato, tank line swap. Big Max coming in probably on the off tank role, and then Monkey coming in on the main tank role for Danny Defeato. Do have the ready up from both guys, but I want to talk about what we saw there as we do load in this next map. What happened there for Danny Defeato. 5 minutes 30 seconds. They full hold there to stop the aggress of Allium, and on the back of a couple of huge ultimates from Venom Andrew, picking up the 5K. That's one of the first 5Ks that we've seen this year so far. I did not expect that to land as clean as it did, but it absolutely got right behind the shield and just clicked it out. I think Allium showing a lot of progress there, though. I mean, 2-1, it couldn't be any closer right now. There's not much separating these two teams, the tank lines, the support lines. I mean, the support line of Allium doing so much work to keep their people up. And I mean, they're using their ultimates as needed. And it's just, it was sound barrier versus sound barrier. It was ultimate versus ultimate. And in the end, Danny Defeato does come ahead by a shred, but still 2-1 to Danny Defeato right now. So, big plays coming out from them. And I mean, this was billed as a blockbuster match by both teams, and it's not disappointing so far. Wouldn't you agree, my friend? This is great stuff.
Not in the slightest. This has been a fantastic match so far, and I can absolutely see this going the distance here. As we'll be heading to Junkertown here for our 4th map. Of course, Allium hoping they can come back and tie this thing up. See if they can send us to that all-elusive map 5.
I did it again.
Oh, no, it's all right. Don't sweat it. But back to, I mean, I really say it was back to that last assault coming through from Danny Defeato on their attack phase, because we saw very similar things from both teams there on Anubis. So close. Both teams taking lightning fast points A and then putting up very, very strong defenses. Danny Defeato just narrowly able to edge it out there in overtime and put that second point on the board. And then, of course, their defense able to hold a lot of it on the back of that Junkrat. But also, Major Nova on the Zarya. Major Nova on that Zarya was putting in a ton of damage. And I think able to give them that edge they needed on the defense, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a couple of questionable bombs. One for a remake, just because he had it available. But the other one went in combination with the 5-man tire. I don't think that he was expecting even his own teammate to get that many with the tire. So, yeah, I think that the Zarya play, his diva play was really good. The mitigating damage and him being up on the high ground with Zane was actually keeping Zane alive a lot longer than his counterpart in Fable on the Cowboys. So, I think that's what happened there. It was really good. I mean, I think Danny Defeato knew exactly what they wanted to do there. Now, as for a reason for the pause right now, we are having a party issue with Danny Defeato's party, so they're trying to reconnect their party. They asked for a pause right before we went into the character select screen, so we're going to see what we can get done with there. So that'll give us time to kind of set up.
Our viewers were none the wiser. Don't you even worry about it. They just got to look at our smiling faces a little bit longer. So. No.
And trying to get a drink of water because I did not get a drink of water during the middle of that last pause.
Oh, stay hydrated, my friend. Stay hydrated. Certainly important. Certainly important. We will take this opportunity.
But now setting.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to get into a little bit of hero pools. I mean, of course, we do have hero pools here in CGL. This week, we are not seeing any Sigma, no Roadhog, no Brig, and no Doomfist, as you might have noticed throughout tonight's match. But we could take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what you're going to start seeing tomorrow as we head into week 2. Because, man, there's a plethora of heroes that are not going to be in rotation. 6 bans on the hero pool coming into next week, including 4 DPS. So we'll start with the tank. No Diva. On the support line, we won't see any BAP. So no Baptiste, no more Immortality Fields, no of those Ant Matrix that we have seen come into play here today. But then the interesting ones here, friends. We're getting into the DPS bans, and this is going to get dicey. No McCree, no Legs, no Soldier 76, no Sombra. So no hacks, no of that anti-Bastion, anti-bunker stuff, and no Widowmaker. So we will not get any of the insta-pick potential that we have seen coming out of some of the star players here tonight, like Zen. So it's going to be an interesting one. What do you think? You think it's just going to be Far Fest next week, Billy?
I think so. I think Far and Bastion are going to...
Far Bastion.
I think Far Bastion is going to be a huge component of our games next week. I think that the pirate ship is going to come back with a vengeance. Poor Bjorn. Poor Bjorn is going to be the sleeper pick, I think.
Yeah, we may see on pirate ship on more maps than just Junkertown as we head into week 2. Of course, your map rotation will change as well. But we'll touch on that a little bit more. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out what maps we'll be seeing next week, as it looks like we're ready to head to Australia.
We are ready to head to Australia, and I think that once again, I think this is going to be a battle of snipers. We saw the snipers before. We see that both teams have the ability to absolutely demolish their counterparts on these heroes. So, as we look at it, right now, I think that Zane or Venom Andrew could either play a sniper and do very well here. I think Ash is a very good pick here because of contestability, because of the burst damage coming down onto the point. So, I think that that's one of the biggest things that we need to look at is what heroes come out here from the defense, because as we all know, it can either be really fast once again, or it could be a long, drawn-out grind.
Yeah, no doubts there. In that vein, we have got a little bit of a side swap once again, so we will get Danny Defeato starting us off on the defense. In that vein, it looks like they're showing us a little Reinhardt diva with Venom back on that Junkrat, which we saw such excellent performance out of in map 3. Zen on the Widowmaker. On the other side of things, looks like we get a little bit of swap around. Dive coming out. Our favorite composition coming out of Allium here as they take to the offense.
Yeah, they're going for a bit of a hacker dive here with Zam Zally going in on the Sombra.
Oh man, Zam tried to go in and get a hack. Well, got the hack onto the Ana. Zen with a nice flick finds a headshot, but does drop in the process. So we're back at a 5v5. Both teams missing a DPS. A good anti coming through from Dex, and Danny Defeato forced all the way back here into the opening, into the clearing of point A. Charge coming out from Monkey, the newly anointed Reinhardt player here for Danny Defeato. Venom Andrew picks off Oast in the background. Kills still getting traded. Luce going down, but Danny Defeato losing their heals and Nick. So I believe it's going to be a 4v4 here on this objective with Zam finding a kill there as well. Yeah, we do have a 4v4 here. Reinhardt drops, giving Allium the advantage. And I think they are poised to pick up point A. A little bit of cleanup coming on to Big Max on that baby diva. And I think the nature of that engagement meant no stall here at the end for Danny Defeato.
Yeah, that was clinical coming from Allium there. The hacker dive really does work. And as you look at Zam Zally, already almost 80% to that all-important EMP, I think that the win condition right now for the team, for Allium right now, is going to be an EMP bomb combo. Ace Typo already has the self-destruct online. So this is going to be a very interesting couple of minutes here for Danny Defeato. How do you contest against an EMP bomb?
Zam trying to go up to the high ground, but had to run past 2 members of Danny Defeato, and I think got found out. But it's still able to get the hack off. Sleep Dart coming through. Zam having a little bit of a nap up on the top. Back to spawn you go. Man advantage here for the defense. Maywall coming out, and that is Monkey's cue to go in and get aggressive. Start swinging that hammer. And I think just on sheer pressure alone, I think they're going to force Allium back here and get a reset.
Yeah, that's very good stuff. I think the unfortunate spotting of Zam Zally there was what made that all go away. Oh my gosh, Zane and Monkey are laying waste on them right now.
Monkey's got to be careful. He has those 3 health. Luce coming through, nano boosted Monkey, able to find that pick. And despite the great wall and pressure coming through from Danny Defeato, there's a window of opportunity here for the offense.
Yeah, there's a definite window of opportunity here. Ace Typo back into his mech, coming back to the point. Zam Zally does have the win condition here for this map available to them, should they be so wanting to use it. Zam Zally really needs to be careful of where he is walking around, though, because, yeah, as
there's
you see
the EMP, there's the bomb. All 6 caught in the EMP, 2 caught with the bomb, 2 more kills following up, and that was... Talk about clinical. That was really clean execution coming from Allium. And now they are chasing the members of Danny all the way back into the pit of point 3. And this should
great aggression.
Great aggression. Should be an easy second point on the board. Though they still have to make sure they can escort this thing there. No, okay. No contest. I thought for a second Monkey might be trying to come out and contest there at the back of point B, but thinking better of that option, second guessing that option, they are going to go ahead and fall back here on the side of the defense.
Yeah, and they're sticking with the Sombra right now. So right now the tank's basically doing all the work, even though Oast on the Tracer is almost close to another Pulse Bomb. Not a lot of damage coming out. I mean, I think that the sheer pressure and the hacks coming out is what's just destroying them right now.
Oh, nice double pulse bomb from Oast. Finds Venom Andrew and Nick. Makes it follows it up with a third onto Monkey. Wow. What a series of events coming from Oast on this Tracer. And you got to remember, all three of those characters were holding ultimates in their pocket. Monkey does throw his Earthshatter into the mix, but to no avail. But getting Venom out early before he's able to use that Blizzard, big play coming out of Oast on the Tracer.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Zamzali is almost to another EMP here. We could see another continuation of what happened before. Luce just holding on to his Primal Rage in his back pocket here.
Looked like the Diva Bomb had come out. I wonder if Big Max got hacked before he was able to get back into his mech. Doesn't look like he got back into the mech now. No, and is still holding on to that bomb. Okay, it was a little bit of an odd engagement going on there. Monkey's going to fall here for the offense, though, on the backside of Pit. Venom Andrew's going to drop it as well. So the pressure from Allium is serving him very well here on the back of point C. Two-man advantage as they're looking to push this thing home.
You've got to get in there and contest, and Defeato. You got to get in there and contest.
Diva Bomb coming out, but Zen is going to go down. Bomb finding nothing. Luce is going to get frozen up, and it looks like Venom Andrew. No, he escapes. Luce able to drop his Primal Rage and get out of there. Now here comes the Blizzard, or sorry, here comes the EMP as well as the Sound Barrier out of the offense. And it looks like Allium just absolutely having their way here. This is 100% their game. And I think Danny Defeato is just living in it at the moment. Zen throws a Deadeye in the mix, only able to find one. I don't think it's going to be enough. Danny Defeato, of course, not going down without a fight, trying to stall this thing out for as long as they can. Get Zen on the point. They've got Ball with Lucio there as well. And Allium needs to start finding some picks here if they want to push this thing home with this massive time bank they have left. Zen is going to drop. AO still in the backline looking for more. Diva is whittled down low. Diva is going to get demeched. Here comes the subsequent kill. AO's on this Tracer, looking to try to push this thing in. Finds the final blow onto the May. Looking now onto the Bats. He finds that kill. And Oast on this Tracer will not be denied. And that will be 2 points on the board. 3 points on the board, forgive me. Just under 2 minutes on the clock here for Allium.
Big time aggression. Well-timed dives, coordinated dives coming from Allium. The combination plays that are coming out from Allium right now are what is winning this right now. I think the Danny Defeato's got to think of something. Pulling out the Hanzo to figure out where the Mexican is actually hiding at, because they have no idea. I mean, they're just basically swinging in the dark right now, trying to find out where Zamzali is on this Sombra, and the hacks coming out from her. Big time plays. Oast on the Tracer there in point 3 absolutely carried his team. Even though with Luce on the Winston, Oast was putting in so much work, so much value. It could have been a lot worse if Danny Defeato hadn't swapped to the characters they had gone to. It could have been almost a 3-minute time bank. So kudos to them for getting their act together there at the very end, but just too much pressure from Allium, and they have a definite uphill battle coming into their attack phase. What do you think we're going to see here, Bull Skunk?
Man, it's a tough call. I mean, so many options before you. But I think what they're showing us here is wise. Stick with the long range, keep Zen on that Widowmaker, see if you can get the early picks and allow your strong tank line to manhandle and create the space down below. But that's putting a lot on Zen's shoulders here. As the gates are opening, Danny Defeato's attack round has begun. All right, looks like the defense just going to sit back low and patient here on the backside of this front corner. Danny Defeato taking the aggression right to him, not wasting any time, and Zen does indeed find that early important opening pick. Luce whittled down low. Max finding the final blow, despite a nice anti coming through from the other side. Danny Defeato looking full control here to start things off for him.
Absolutely. 3 big picks coming out for Danny Defeato. Make that 4. The aggression for Danny Defeato is going to be huge here. Venom Andrew on the May. Never seen him play May before, personally. I haven't played enough with them here in recent months. But this is great work from Danny Defeato coming out the gate strong.
Well, we definitely have time for a contest coming through from the defense. O's going to go ahead and throw himself down. Here comes the rest of the teammates to follow. O's trying to find something into that support line. As I believe him and the Sombra both going to the back. And there it is, the one clip onto Zen. And that's a great start for the defense here as they take the Widowmaker out of battle. But Venom Andrew strikes right back, finds the kill onto that Tracer. Monkey gets the kill, well, onto the opposing Monkey. Nice dive, or nice charge rather, onto the D.Va. Gets the D-Mech, swinging for the fences. Murphy Buns drops as well, and Danny Defeato should be able to get this first point on the board. There it is.
Yep, Nick coming up with 2 big kills there to make sure that they did secure this point, and then a nice little bay wall to get his team up to the high ground here. This could have the potential to snowball out of control if they don't play their cards right here, because Zamazali does have that EMP online bomb, not very close in terms of the win condition for that. Zen, man, get your sights up, young man, because you're going to have a world of hurt here in a minute if you don't figure out where this Sombra is at.
Yeah, good news for Danny Defeato is that is the only ultimate they have to worry about. If they can weather that one, they are in a strong position here. Oh, but here it comes, a 5-man EMP. Will the follow-up be there for the defense? Murphy Buns is going to find one, and Ace Typo eats Venom Andrews. Blizzard. What a great play coming out of Ace Typo on that D.Va. And it looks like the defense have absolutely done the work necessary to plant their feet here. Basic does come up with a kill onto that Sombra, and Danny Defeato are not going to waste any time striking right back. Nice charge coming out of Monkey. Able to get Ace Typo, and then here comes the Earthshatter into the mix. 2 fall to that, but on the back end, a bomb lands on a Venom Andrew and finds that kill. Nano Boost coming onto Ace Typo onto the D.Va, who hurls himself into the Graviton Surge to try to protect his Ana, but just not quite in time. And Danny Defeato will emerge victorious here from this brawl on point B.
Yep, and they've got almost the full capture progress. Basic up there contesting the D.Va, trying to get as much of the capture progress as they can.
But now we're getting a nice coordinated recontest coming back in from the other side. Okay, the Monkey, oh, got blocked by the wall. What a great play. D.Va is going to throw a bomb into the mix, and that finds one. No McCree's on the board here for either team. 5v5 here on the back of point B. Sound barrier coming out for Allium on the side of the defense. One in response from Basic on the offense. Sleep Dart onto Monkey in the middle of the action there, but quickly woken up. Now we're going to get Luce throwing the Primal Rage in the mix. Finds Nick with that, and that is a great pick. What focus coming from Luce. What excellent target priority. With that, I don't think Danny Defeato has the sustain, and I think it is going to be back to the drawing board here for the attacking team.
Absolutely, and that was coordinated aggression coming from an Allium. A couple of good anti-nates in the mix from Dexidin, denying the heal ability for his for the healers of Danny Defeato. So not much they could do. Also, there was a very, very well judged nano boost put on to Ace Typo to keep him up, throwing the button there, and actually took out Zen on the Cowboy. So yeah, they may have popped their wad there, and Zamzali does get off the Sombra now. So now the hack ability is gone for Allium.
Yeah, coming over to that Soldier, perhaps wanting to utilize this high ground, which is exactly where Zama's going to sit and try to rain some damage down into the approaching members of Danny Defeato. Monkey just trying to get aggressive. Okay, let's say you got to wait for the rest of your team to catch up, my friend. And he does do just that. Great awareness coming out of the front line there of Danny Defeato. Blizzard now coming out from that team, as well as an Earthshatter, and they're going to find a kill immediately on the back of that. They do lose Big Max in the process. And Ost and Zam, DPS duo from Allium, coming up with a pick each. And now Danny Defeato in here with just 3 members trying to see if they can push this thing home. D.Va Bomb coming out on the side of the defense. They've got Monkey down low. Oh, Monkey! Monkey, what happened, my friend? You had the shield up, then the shield was gone, and so were you. And so is the attacking team. Defense is gonna hold here on the back of point B.
Yeah, it stopped him at 2 meters, 2.74 meters there. What happened there with Monkey, his shield just eventually got worn down by the Tesla cannon of X-Luce, and he had nowhere to hide. He just ate that D.Va Bomb right in the face.
He sure did. He sure did. But now Danny Defeato have a little bit more to work with. They have a Deadeye online. They're coming up on another sound barrier there. We'll see. They've got a little under 70 seconds on the clock. Immediately getting aggressive, not wasting any time. Zen finds the first pick here. 1-man advantage here for the attacking team. Monkey getting aggressive despite being purple. He doesn't care. He's going swinging for the fences, trying to put some pressure down onto that D.Va, but he does get taken down. The nano boost coming through onto Ace Typo, who's now trying to put the pressure onto Basic, who's forced to throw that sound barrier out just to stay alive. Ace Typo getting frozen up, but barely able to manage to escape with the mech. Yes, still somehow Ace Typo, what a bubble. And Ace Typo with 26 health manages to survive with some help from his teammate. on the Winston there. And with just 30 seconds on the clock, we are in final fight territory here for Danny Defeato.
Yeah, I think that Monkey needs to go over to the Monkey, counter the Monkey, because he is getting outplayed right now, outclassed by Luce on the Allium's Winston right now. There is a lot to go on here.
One last hold here for Allium, and they will send us to a map 5. They've got 2 ultimates in the bank. Can they do it? Diva Bomb coming out early. Lucia's going to go and throw his Primal Rage into the mix. Monkey coming through with a huge Fire Strike, picks off 2. And Venom Andrew manages to get the nice clean headshot. So despite the ultimates coming out from the other side, Danny Defeato with the man advantage here on the point. But Zam's still alive, still making moves on the soldier. I spoke too soon. Zen goes down. Coalescence coming out from the offense, and Danny Defeato will live to fight another round.
Oh my goodness, last minute heroics coming from all the members of Danny Defeato right there. You do have, they basically spent their entire ultimate build up there. Man, well, I mean, that was touch and go for a second there.
Really on both sides. You've just got this Blizzard online, the only ultimate in the server here available. Andrew up on the high ground trying to keep Allium from getting set up on top of the spinner. But it does look like he's going to get chased off, and here comes the aggression on the side of the defense. Luce diving in, bubble thrown, but eats a ton of damage, forced to back out into pit almost immediately. Looks like the Tracer down in the back line just commanding a lot of attention from Danny Defeato and still managing to stay alive. In fact, it forced a wasted Blizzard. Venom, I don't know what you saw. I don't know if that was a fat finger, but that Blizzard just chilled nothing but the map itself. Sleep Dart coming on to Big Max, just going to stall this thing out for a little bit. And it looks like some great composure coming out of the defenses. They're just getting set up all the way around. All right, and here comes the assault. We're going to get the nano boost onto Aos to into the backline, looking to put pressure onto the anti-tank. Dexiden does go down, though. Venom Andrew sacrifices himself to make that big play. Sound Barrier coming out on the side of the defense, and that's going to prompt some aggression on Ace Typo, but running into 5 manners of Danny Defeato just gets immediately demeched. O's coming up with a big pick onto Nick. Primary source of healing gone. 6 seconds on the clock. Danny Defeato, you have got to get your members onto this objective. Zen has recently swapped over to the Reaper to try to come out with some more close quarters broad potential, as the overtime wick is a burn, and Danny Defeato has to get this pushed in if they even want to hope for a draw. A draw is the best thing they can hope for here, but a draw would give them a win in this match. So they have desperately got to get this thing pushed through. 5 kills coming up. Danny Defeato finding the goods into the twilight hour. They have pushed this thing across, and the hopes for a draw still stand here for Danny Defeato.
Zamzali actually came out with a massive EMP onto the members of Danny Defeato, but Basic playing as if he knew that it was coming, playing outside of the EMP's range, gets his sound barrier off and keeps his members topped up and ready to go, and they end up pushing it in on the back of that sound barrier from Basic. So huge play coming from Basic, even though you do have almost 2 minutes extra in the bank for Allium. You and I both know from matches that we have cast this past week here in week 1, this is the map, especially in overtime, is where we have seen so many just unbelievable pushes. We've seen it go, 41 meters in one match. We saw it go all the way through in another match. So just because you're in overtime, just because you have only a minute does not mean a damn thing. Isn't that right, my friend?
Doesn't mean a thing. Doesn't mean a thing. We do have a slight advantage, but you cannot count this Danny Defeato team out. Of course, I was talking about draws like we're on hybrid. A little self-correction there. On Escort, you have no draws. Come on, Bullskunk. What are you thinking?
Boo. Look at this. Look at this. It's the pirate ship.
It's the pirate ship, but look at this aggressive stance coming out of the defense. Allium just right up on the doors, just trying to deny this pirate ship the ability to even get set up in the first place. Early pick coming through from Zamzam, able to find the Torbjorn as we're going to get the double pirate ship setup. Now, Danny Defeato definitely trying to push out and get Venom and Andrew into position, and they do manage to do just that. He finds 1 kill before getting fire strikes, though. Or fire struck? Taken out by a fire thing coming from the Reinhardt. But nevertheless, the front line, Danny Defeato answering right back. Monkey finding a pair of kills. Big Mac coming up with 1 himself. And this pirate ship will get underway and head to the seas of Junkertown.
Oh, man. Okay, so we've already almost got a pulse bomb online for For Allium, we've got a Shatter already online for Luce, and then look at the other members of Allium, except for the Lucio, already 3/4 away on the way to their first ultimate on the side of Danny Defeato. You've got a couple of huge ones coming up here.
All right, Allium trying to surround this pirate ship as we speak. We are going to get that Ant Matrix coming out right in front of that Bastion, and oh my goodness, you do not want to be in front of that onslaught as Ace Typo just found out. Gets demegged almost immediately. Pulse Bomb, though, coming back onto the point, and Oast denies that Bastion. We'll see if they can get the res off. Basic does drop the Valk. Res does come through, as well as some more kills here. 2 for Big Max. 1 for the Torbjorn in the name of Zen.
Oh, man.
And now we are getting that tank configuration just to ensure Danny Defeato can get this 4th point on the board.
Oh, my goodness. And Zamzali actually had the opportunity to launch that EMP and take out everybody because he had the people around him. But a couple of swings, a couple of turrets, and a couple of just absolutely laser-focused shots from Bastion, and that just sent it back way back to the dead zone.
Yeah, and without their diva, they struggled. Luce tried to jump out and ate so much damage as well. It just kind of denied his viability there on the Reinhardt to try to close the gap. So now we're into point B. EMP Diva Bomb combo coming out, and that's going to take out not only your Bastion, but the res as well. And now Danny Defeato in dire straits. They go ahead and throw the lava, the molten core over to the mix, but Oast on the Reaper takes out both tanks and the entirety of Danny Defeato. 4 points and 43 meters is what Danny will have to settle for here in the overtime phase.
Now, this is looking very, very, very deja vu-esque with the Tribulation and title match last night that we cast. This is looking very, very eerily similar, Bull Skunk.
Yeah, but I'll say I think Allium has the win at their back right now. And 3 minutes on Junkertown, it could definitely be enough time for them to push through here. This is all going to come down, I think, to the first defense.
Absolutely. I think the first defense is what's going to make or break this point here. Danny Defeato coming out with a very aggressive and brawly comp. I personally, I would like to see the Junkrat. Junk and Reaper would be a very vicious.
Well, and I wonder if, you know, keeping Zen on the Widowmaker might be the play. I felt like he was having great impact and controlling a lot of space. Anything Allium did, they had to be conscious and they had to be fully aware of that Widow. Oh, but we're getting a similar defense coming out of Danny Defeato here with their up-close and personal brawl. Just looking to get in the face of Allium. But Allium's not even going to come out that door. Allium, they are too smart for that, guys. They're coming out that far right side from the attacker's point of view. And they do still have Zam on this Sombra, putting in an early hack. No, does not quite get the hack onto Monkey, and Monkey's able to find the kill onto Luce. But Danny Defeato loses their Reaper and the massive source of their damage here in this brawly composition.
Look at how up close and personal Oast is getting in onto Danny Defeato on the Junkrat, just laying waste with concussion mines and everything else.
Well, and when you had Zam on the back line, was doing a good job up on this walkway from above, putting the aggression down, getting some good hacks, and in the end, Allium will emerge victorious from that first engagement.
Yes, absolutely, and I think the healing core that came out from Allium there with the immortality barrier from Dexodin is what won them that engagement. I think that Danny Defeato really needs to maybe mirror what is going on there, because they're getting the hits in there, they're just not getting the confirmed kills, and that's what's going to stop them right now, is if they cannot get these confirmed kills.
We'll be looking for a big Earthshatter coming from Monkey here, but Luce is going to be coming up on one of his own here directly. Nice! Swinging for the fences there, does find the Lucio, but the Earthshatter falls flat, hitting nothing but a shield of Luce. Big Max does find the kill onto that Reinhardt, though, and I think despite the Earthshatter not getting what they wanted, the defense are finding the goods.
Yeah, and Zamzali is really not doing anything for his team back here in the back. I think you go back to spawn and come out with something with a little more punch, because I know what you're going for.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a catch-22. I mean, if he tries to put some shots down and build up that EMP, then he's going to give his position away. If he doesn't do it, it may not be online in time for this engagement. Okay, yeah, Zam is going to go ahead and think better of that flank and go back and rejoin the rest of his team. Meanwhile, this is going to be an up-close and personal shield-to-shield brawl. We did get the Matrix coming out from the offense. Danny Defeato able to back out of that LOS Blizzard in response as they look to counterpunch back. Coalescence thrown into that mix. Diva caught in the small mega room, gets demeched and sent back to spawn. And the defense looking very strong for Danny here with just 48 seconds left on the clock.
Yes, and I think that you maybe want to have that Coalescence back in your pocket, just personally, because of what's coming up for the other team. That source of big burst damage or big burst healing from the Coalescence could be the tide turner for his team.
It could be, as the EMP will be online now. And Zam is working his way all the way into the back. Meanwhile, on the front line, we're going to get Danny Defeato throwing a Graviton Surge in the mix. Maywall to try to deny the retreat, but here comes the Diva Bomb to try to cowpunch back. And Monkey is caught out, got overly aggressive, caught swinging, and the bomb sends him back to spawn. Now, we did get that sound barrier coming out from Danny Defeato, but I think that may have been a little preemptive as well, as Zam is still holding on to this EMP, and Allium is in control of point A.
Yes, absolutely, and I think that you go back and you get back with your team right now and do it in the overtime, because they've got to go 43 meters here on the first corner of the streets face here at Junkertown. Give them the point, let them have it, and then make your stand here.
I think this is final fight right here. This next engagement is going to decide whether we head to map 5 or we're going to crown Danny Defeato as the winners of this match. Monkey's joining in with the Earth Shatter! The Earth Shatter is good! That finds 4 people! Venom Andrew's going to go ahead and throw the Blizzard into the mix as well, and the defense have done it! Of course,
oh my goodness.
Allium are going to try to hold on for as long as they can, but that is going to do it. Danny Defeato emerge victorious here on Junkertown and here in our match today with a 3-1 victory.
That's it. Stick a fork in me. I am done. Monkey coming forth in
This
the
has
final
to be
match.
this has to be this last Earth Shatter. No.
Oh.
It is here on the defense, or on the attacking team, forgive me.
Oof.
Either way, fantastic play coming from Monkey on the Reinhardt. And that is it. We are done. Danny Defeato, your victors here, 3-1 over Allium.
I can't take this anymore. I can't take the stress. I can't take the stress anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, that was such an amazing last flurry of events from Danny Defeato and Allium alone. I mean, the EMP caught 5. So, yeah, that was huge play from both sides, and just the shatter there. He didn't catch Monkey in the EMP, or he did, and then he popped the EMP. I'm not sure what happened, but man, my heart is just racing right now. I can't even breathe hardly. It's just so bad.
Wow.